I, 38 male, been sitting on this for about 3 months now. Finally ready to share because the papers are signed and everything's final. My wife, Veronica, 36, and I were married for 12 years. No kids. She kept saying next year until I realized she just didn't want them but wouldn't admit it. Fine, whatever. But that was just the start of the pattern. About 4 years ago, things started shifting. She got promoted at her marketing firm, started making good money. I'm a HVAC tech, make decent cash, but nothing fancy. Suddenly she's all about lifestyle upgrades and looking down on my job. Maybe you should go back to school, Gordon. Do something more professional. I like my job. I'm good at it. But so blue collar. When I introduce you to my work friends, what am I supposed to say? That stung, but I let it slide. The comments got worse over time. She'd joke about being the breadwinner, make cracks about my truck being embarrassing next to her Audi. Started going to work events without me because I wouldn't fit in. 2 years ago, I started keeping notes, just in a notebook at first. Then I remembered we're in a one-party consent state for recordings. Bought a little voice recorder off Amazon. Nothing fancy, just $40. Started keeping it in my pocket. Why? Because she'd say nasty stuff and gaslight me later. Tell me I was too sensitive or remembering it wrong. The recorder doesn't lie. Last year, she started getting real bold, talking about her house that we bought together, her investment account that I contributed to, started moving money around, putting stuff only in her name. It just makes more sense tax-wise, she'd say. I'd ask to see the math. She'd get mad, accuse me of not trusting her. So I started keeping receipts. Every deposit I made, every bill I paid, every contribution to her accounts. Photographed them all, backed up to 3 different clouds. 6 months ago, she came home from a girls' night and dropped the bomb. Not asking for divorce, just threatening it. For fun, I guess. You know, if I wanted to divorce you tomorrow, you'd be screwed. I know all the good lawyers in town. My income's double yours. The house is basically mine. You'd probably end up living in that truck you love so much. She was laughing. Actually laughing. You'd never survive divorce court, Gordon. You're too nice. Too naive. I'd take you for everything. I just said, we'll see. She thought that was hilarious. Laughed harder. Aw, baby. That's what I love about you. You actually think you'd have a chance. Kept recording. Kept saving receipts. Started noticing patterns too. Lots of work dinners that ran real late. Charges on the credit card statements for restaurants I'd never been to, always for 2 people. Hotel charges in our own city during her conference days. 3 months ago, she filed. Came home with papers and this smug smile. I warned you this day might come. Now be a good boy and just sign whatever my lawyer sends. We can make this easy or hard. I said okay. She was shocked I didn't fight or beg. I just called a lawyer the next day. Regular guy, not fancy, but he knew his stuff. Bring me everything you've got, he said. I showed up with 3 banker's boxes. Update 1. Y'all, the look on her lawyer's face when we had the first meeting. Priceless. So Veronica hired this shark lawyer, Denise something. Real aggressive type. Came into that conference room acting like she owned the place. My client is prepared to be generous, she starts. She's willing to let Mr. Gordon keep his truck and tools. In exchange, she maintains the house, all investment accounts, and he pays spousal support. My lawyer, Bill, yeah, regular name for a regular guy, just smiled. Interesting. We have a counter-proposal. Started laying out documents. Bank statements showing my deposits into her accounts. Receipts for house payments, repairs, upgrades, all from my accounts. Then the recordings. Let's start with dated May 15th, shall we? Veronica's voice filled the room. You're lucky I even let you live here. This is my house. You're just a guest who fixes the AC when it breaks. Her lawyer's face changed. When was this dash? All legally recorded in a one-party consent state, Bill said. More recordings. Her admitting she moved money to protect it from your grubby mechanic hands. Her laughing about how she'd clean me out if we divorced. Her telling her friend on the phone that she'd been planning this for years, and I was too dumb to notice. Then the hotel receipts. The restaurant charges. Weird how many work dinners require a hotel room in the same city where you live, Bill noted. But the real kicker? The credit card I've been paying on in my name, but she used it, had some interesting charges. Jewelry, men's clothing, stuff that wasn't for me. Who's Ricardo? Bill asked. Veronica went pale. Her lawyer asked for a recess. 20 minutes later, they come back. Denise cleared her throat. We'd like to discuss a settlement. Turns out Ricardo was her work friend, the one she'd been having those late dinners with, the one who got a $3,000 watch on my credit card for his birthday. Here's what kills me. She still thought she could spin this. Outside the conference room, she cornered me. Gordon, baby, let's talk about this like adults. You don't need to be vindictive. I'm not being vindictive. I'm being fair. Fair? You recorded me without telling me. Legally. You went through my things. Credit card statements in my name aren't your things. She switched tactics. Touch my arm. Remember when we were happy? We could try counseling. Ricardo means nothing. Veronica, you literally have his name tattooed on your ribcage. Yeah, she got a tattoo. Small but there. Told me it was Sanskrit for strength. I Googled it last month. It's literally just Ricardo in cursive. That's not. I have photos from your Instagram where you tag him showing it off. She lost it. You stalked my Instagram. It's public, and you're still married to me. I'll ruin you. I know people. You'll never work in this town again. I fix air conditioners. Pretty sure people will still want AC. Her lawyer literally dragged her away. Bill looked at me. She always this dramatic? You should see her when a restaurant gets her order wrong. Update 2. So Veronica decided to play dirty. Real dirty. First, she tried to get me fired. Call my boss claiming I was mentally unstable and dangerous. My boss, Tony, called me in his office. Gordon, your wife just called. Says you're having some kind of breakdown. We're getting divorced. She says you've been stalking her, recording her secretly, following her around. I pulled out my phone, showed him the divorce papers. She filed. I responded. Everything I did was legal. Tony leaned back. She threatened to call our corporate office. Says she knows the marketing director. My stomach dropped, but Tony smiled. I told her to go ahead. My cousin's the CEO. Known him since we were kids. Plus, you're my best tech. You think I'm going to fire you because your ex is crazy. But she didn't stop there. Next, she went after my family. Called my mom claiming I was abusing her. Mom called me panicked. Gordy, Veronica says you've been recording her in the bathroom. Says you put cameras in the house. Mom, I recorded conversations. Audio only. In common areas. It's legal. She says you're trying to blackmail her with intimate photos. Mom, I have recordings of her saying she's going to take everything I own. That's it. Mom went quiet. That bitch actually called me, trying to turn me against my own son. Yeah. Well, no. Give me your lawyer's number. Turns out Mom had kept every birthday card, every Christmas gift receipt where Veronica gave me dollar store crap while I bought her designer everything. All went to Bill. Then came the social media campaign. Veronica started posting about being a survivor. Vague posts about escaping abuse and starting fresh. Her friends ate it up. But here's the thing about recording someone for 2 years. You catch a lot. Like her phone calls, where she's on speaker in the kitchen, laughing with her friends about how she's training me. How she moved money so I couldn't touch it. How Ricardo is so much better in bed. All legal. All admissible. Her lawyer called for another meeting. This time, Denise looked tired. My client is willing to split assets 50-50ths. Bill laughed. Actually laughed. After what she's pulled, we want 65-35ths. And she pays her own debts, including the $15,000 in credit card charges for her boyfriend. That's ridiculous. Bill pulled out more papers. Text messages between your client and Ricardo. Planning to hide assets. Move money offshore. Pretty sure that's fraud. I didn't even know about these. Bill had subpoenaed her phone records. She also claimed Mr. Gordon was abusive to multiple parties. That's defamation. We have recordings proving otherwise. Want to add that lawsuit to this divorce. Veronica was seething. This isn't fair. Fair. I finally spoke up. Fair would have been you not cheating. Fair would have been you not treating me like dirt. Fair would have been you not threatening to destroy me for fun. I was joking. For 2 years. Her lawyer whispered urgently to her. Veronica kept shaking her head. Finally, Denise sighed. We need another recess. Update 3. Veronica went nuclear. She couldn't accept the settlement offer. Her ego wouldn't let her. So she fired Denise and hired an even bigger shark. Some dude named Clarence who apparently specialized in high-conflict divorces. First thing he did? File a motion claiming all my recordings were illegal, that I'd violated wiretapping laws. Judge looked at the motion, looked at the law. We're in a one-party consent state. Counselor. But my client had an expectation of privacy in her own home, not for conversations in common areas with her spouse present. Motion denied. Strike 1. Next, they claimed financial abuse. Said I was controlling by keeping my own bank accounts. Bill presented 10 years of bank records. Every penny traced. Every contribution documented. Your client moved $50,000 into private accounts over 2 years. Mr. Gordon kept his paycheck in his own account, but paid 60% of household bills. Who's controlling whom? Judge was not amused. Strike 2. Then came the Hail Mary. Veronica claimed I'd been hiding assets, that I must have secret accounts because no man keeps that many receipts unless he's planning something. The judge actually laughed. Planning what? To prove where his money went. That's called being responsible. But here's where it gets really good. During discovery, they had to turn over Veronica's financials. All of them. Remember Ricardo? Turns out he wasn't just a boyfriend. He was her business partner. They'd started an LLC together, using money from our joint investments. Without telling me. Your Honor, Bill said, Mrs. Gordon withdrew $75,000 from investment accounts she claimed were hers to start a business with her affair partner. That's marital asset dissipation. The judge's face went stone cold. Mrs. Gordon, did you start a business with marital funds without your husband's knowledge? Veronica tried to explain. It was my money. I earned it. From joint investment accounts? I managed those accounts. With marital funds? Her lawyer was sweating. Your Honor, we need dash. No, I've heard enough. Mrs. Gordon, you've shown a pattern of financial deception, asset hiding, and malicious behavior. That's when Veronica lost it. In court. This is bull. He's just a mechanic. I'm the one with a real career. The house should be mine. The money should be mine. He's nothing without me. The judge slammed his gavel. Mrs. Gordon, you're in contempt. One more outburst, and you'll be removed. She kept going. You're all against me. This is sexism. I'm a strong, independent woman, and you can't handle it. Security escorted her out. Her lawyer looked like he wanted to disappear. The judge shook his head. Mr. Clarence, I suggest you counsel your client on courtroom behavior. We're adjourned. Final update. It's done. After her courtroom meltdown, Veronica's lawyer dropped her. Clarence straight up quit. Said he couldn't represent someone who wouldn't follow legal advice. She had to get a new lawyer. By this point, word had gotten around. She ended up with some ambulance chaser who probably got his degree online. The settlement conference was beautiful. Judge brought us in. I've reviewed all evidence. Mrs. Gordon, you've shown a pattern of financial malfeasance, asset dissipation, and attempted defamation. Your behavior throughout these proceedings has been illuminating. Her new lawyer tried to argue. Judge shut him down. I'm prepared to rule. Mr. Gordon gets 70% of marital assets. The house will be sold, proceeds split accordingly. Mrs. Gordon's business venture with Mr. Ricardo, that's $75,000 comes out of her share. The credit card debt in Mr. Gordon's name for purchases clearly not for him, Mrs. Gordon pays. Veronica whispered frantically to her lawyer. He whispered back. She got louder. That's not enough to live on. The judge heard her. Mrs. Gordon, you make $95,000 a year. I think you'll manage. What about alimony? You want alimony? After hiding assets and starting a business with your affair partner? No. She tried one last manipulation. Started crying. Your Honor, I'm sorry. I was emotional. Gordon and I had a good marriage once. Maybe we could try mediation. I spoke up. No. Gordon, please. Don't you remember the good times? I remember you laughing about taking everything from me. I remember you calling me just a mechanic. I remember you spending thousands on Ricardo while telling me we needed a budget. I made mistakes. You made choices. The judge finalized everything. House sold fast in this market. After everything was divided, I walked away with enough to buy a nice little place outright. No mortgage. It's smaller than the old house, but it's mine. Veronica? Last I heard from mutual friends, Ricardo dumped her once the money ran out. The business they started failed in 3 months. She's living in a one-bedroom apartment, driving a Honda instead of her Audi, had to sell it to pay the credit card debt, and working the same job. She texted me last week from a new number. I hope you're happy. I responded, I am. You destroyed my life over pride. No, you destroyed your life with greed. Ricardo left me. Not my problem. I loved you once. No, you love what I did for you. There's a difference. She sent a long paragraph about how sorry she was, how she'd changed, how maybe we could be friends. I blocked the number. My lawyer Bill sent me a final invoice with a note. Pleasure working with you. P.S. Those recordings were gold. Best documentation I've seen in 20 years. Sitting in my new place now. It's quiet. Peaceful. No one here to tell me I'm just anything. No one laughing about taking everything from me. Turns out I survived divorce court just fine. And the receipts? Still got him. Laminated the one where she bought Ricardo that watch on my credit card. Hung in my garage. Reminds me that keeping good records isn't paranoid. It's smart. The moral? When someone tells you who they are, believe them. When they threaten to destroy you, prepare. And when they laugh about taking everything, start recording. Because receipts don't lie. And neither does audio. To everyone saying I should have left earlier, maybe. But I'm a plumber who married up, thought I'd hit the jackpot. Took me a while to realize the jackpot was rigged. Better late than never, though. Oh, and Veronica, if you're reading this, your Sanskrit tattoo is still just Ricardo in cursive. Peace out.